Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Rock Experience with Mike Brunn. On this episode, I welcome back to the show Doc McGhee, and he's going to give us all the updates on Kiss, what's going on in 2024, the avatars, Kiss Cruise. We'll talk about the final show and so much more. There's so much information and lots to cover in this episode. I guarantee you guys are going to really enjoy this. So let's jump in and let's get started. Doc, I just want to thank you for joining me. This is the third time you've been on the show. I want to thank you for joining me again.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I know that you have a lot of our KISS Army out there watching. So I always like to talk to everybody, as you know, and keep everybody abreast with what's happening. So it's all good.
Awesome. Now, I know the first few times we spoke, you spoke about QTR, quality time remaining, right?
Exactly.
Have you been able to enjoy at all the last 3-4 months and kind of maybe lay low just a little bit and get some QTR?
Yes, in the sense that I've had a chance, not that that's my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to just be home more instead of being in a hotel somewhere.
Sure.
So I have had that opportunity to be home. Only had to take 3 or 4 trips since December 2nd. Okay. which has been really good. And listen, I love what I do. I love part of KISS. I love running the show. So it's all good.
Absolutely. All good. Well, you just mentioned December 2nd, right? So I was at those last 2 shows at the Garden. And before we even talk about any of the show or anything, to me, what a great job you and the band did. I'll say taking over New York City for a few days. Right? I've grown up in New York, so it was the Empire State Building. You had newspapers on street corners, the pop-up store, taxis, pizza. I mean, you name it. It was KISS everywhere. What was your role in all of that, and how much work was that for you?
I actually, between Chris from Epic Rights and myself, my staff, and their staff, Lisa and everybody at Epic Rights, which did an amazing job. We put it all together ourselves. And it was really, really interesting. We also had the Coletti brothers who helped us on some of the stuff that we did, as far as the mayor and the stuff of the lighting of the Empire State Building, things like that. So it was a real group effort from everybody. And I've never seen anybody do that. Yeah. To that extent.
Yep, agreed. I mean, I've seen pop-up stores in the city when bands come through, like Metallica, let's just say, but never to the extreme with, like I said, taxis and all these different things. How far in advance do you have to start planning something like that?
We started planning in about 8 months ahead of time.
Oh, wow.
So we were looking for approvals and stuff. When we went back on the road again is when I said, okay, now we better get ready for the end of the road. And what are we going to do with everything as we're doing it? So it was I thought it was well thought out, well executed, and very excited about everything that's going on.
Agreed. Was there anything, because you guys always dream big, was there anything that you guys thought of and the city said, Doc, no, you can't do that?
Well, there was a lot of stuff that we planned that we were going to do with the Statue of Liberty, all that kind of stuff, which the Park District wouldn't allow us to do. We had some things we were going to do in the Hudson that we couldn't do just because of the weather at that time of the year.
Sure.
But mostly, I mean, everything from, Jesus, we had all of the cards on the subway cards. Yep. We had we had 90 video screens in Penn Station for 3 days. So we had that all covered. We had Rockefeller Center. We had ice skating one day, Kiss Day, which was on a Thursday.
I missed that.
Yeah, that was, we had the Rockettes, did a whole thing with Kiss. We did let's see, we did the hockey.
That's right. The Rangers.
We did the Rangers hockey tie-in. We did the taxi cabs. We did Swatch.
Yep.
We did the Swatch. We had the Statue of Liberty, and we had Kiss Day. A declaration from the mayor. We had all kinds of stuff. 800 taxi cabs.
Yep.
It was just amazing.
Now, obviously, and Kiss fans know this, leading up to those shows, Paul got sick and you guys had to cancel a few shows. Was there any worry on your side or the band side that those shows would have to be postponed, or did you know Paul was going to be okay and be able to do those shows?
Well, we weren't sure. You never know.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we assume that it'll go on and we'll be able to move forward. But Paul's a trooper, and Paul works. I've seen him do shows with 101 temperature, and so unless he's really sick, he ain't playing. Sure. I mean, he'll be playing unless he's really ultimately sick, which that time he was, but so we had to cancel a couple of shows. He couldn't get out of bed. So
yeah. In hindsight, because I know you had to cancel, I think it was Nashville, Ottawa, and Toronto, right? In hindsight, do you guys wish you left a little bit of buffer between those shows and the New York ones in case something came up and you could have rescheduled, or was it just not possible with the schedule? And I know Monday morning quarterback in here, so
yeah, no, it's kind of like if you left something out there empty, then everything has to sit in trucks for a week.
Right.
So, so it still costs you $2 million a week, no
right.
What,
right.
Whether you're playing shows or not.
Great point. Great
point. If you cancel it, you cancel. There's nothing you can do. But we couldn't reschedule it.
Right. To me, that once you saw everything going on in the city, that was obvious why those shows unfortunately couldn't be rescheduled. And it's unfortunate for those fans that did have tickets for those couple of shows.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Going into that last night, right, December 2nd, what was the mood backstage, both before and then after the show was done? What was the mood like backstage?
It was funny because everybody knew that, I don't know if we had time for it to sink in, because we're in the middle of going into Baltimore and we're canceling stuff and moving them around.
Sure.
So I don't think any of us really had the opportunity to sit back and go, wow, these are our last two shows.
Right.
We kind of got in. We had to go to the Statue of Liberty. I mean, we had to go to the Empire State Building. We had to go do the pop-up stores. We had press shit that we were doing the whole time.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have any time to really, for them to sit and contemplate what this was going to mean.
Yep.
So it was just over, which I guess is probably the best way to do it anyways.
Sure.
There's no thinking about it. It is what it is.
Right. Now, I know watching the pay-per-view, when the show was over, Gene did a brief interview. I think you appeared quickly. Tommy appeared quickly, but Paul and Eric, I'll say, was nowhere to be found after the show, at least on the pay-per-view. What was Paul just like with his family, or what was it like for him?
Paul was spending time with his family and his friends that he had invited, and we kind of left them all alone, to do what they wanted to do. Everybody had their own, at the end of the show, everybody got to do what they wanted to do. I mean, this is a celebration of 50 years, the first 50 years of Kiss. And so it was a great night. It's sunk in the next day a little bit more, and a little bit more the next day after that. And then as we move forward, it creeps into your thoughts every day on, well, how does this work? But we have so many things, as you saw at the end of the second show,
Yep.
The announcement of the avatars and showing how that was going to start to go into the superhero world,
Yep.
which is just where KISS belongs.
So let's talk about the avatars a little bit, right? So when did the idea first come about for the avatars? And was it you, Paul and Gene thinking of it? Who's the one that thought, hey, let's transform the band into avatars?
We had been, it wasn't really an avatar thing. We have been looking at things for 5 years. We've been looking at everything from when Tupac did the holographic thing at Coachella.
Yep.
And so we started looking at the technology that was available for us. And avatars were kind of available, but you can shoot an avatar, but then what do you do with it? Okay, so we decided until we knew what we were going to do with it, the technology was going to get better and better and better, and we didn't need to do anything and we weren't even sold on avatars.
Okay.
We were just sold on a extension of KISS. Okay, so whatever that was, whether it's avatars or whatever the best form. Then we ran into Pop House, who did ABBA Voyage in London, and we went to see ABBA Voyage about 1.5 years ago, and watched how they implemented the avatars and the presentations, and it was amazing. It was absolutely what we wanted. Okay. And so it's taken us a long time, but now we've moved into that world.
So going forward with KISS, and I think Gene said it would be 2027 when the avatars were ready. Is it going to be live performances like ABBA does, or will it be like a superhero thing? I think KISS fans are confused. Like, what are the avatars going to do once they're finally presented?
You're going to come and see a KISS blown out show.
So it'll be like a concert, you're saying?
Yeah, you're going to have an experience that you've never had before, because we can do all kinds of things. Okay, well, with the avatars, we can do so many different things that keep it true to KISS.
Sure.
Okay, so it doesn't look like a 3-ring circus, even though we are a 3-ring circus. Okay, that we'll give everybody an amazing experience. Coming to see KISS, you'll be able to go through an immersive museum. You'll be able to see the real roots of KISS. As you know, we're in the middle of a biopic. We're in the middle of our documentary of the first 50 years of KISS. So there's a lot of things before that opens up in 26 or 27 that you'll be able to get snippets of this and that, this and that. Everybody will be able to. So KISS isn't just going to go away.
Okay. Will it be like if they want to recreate, let's say, like the Love Gun tour, they could do so, or will it be like new stuff that they're doing?
No, it's not going to be new songs and stuff. We may do a couple of songs because just being creative for Gene and Paul to do. They may write a couple of songs. I'm making this up right now because it's just open-ended. Right. We're looking at Broadway, we're looking at the Avatar shows. All these things will start to fit in pieces of the puzzle around the world.
Okay. Well, I think that'll excite KISS fans a little bit more, because I think a lot of people got the impression at the Garden there's going to be like a superhero, almost like an extension of the Psycho Circus comics, but it sounds like it's more of a live performance type thing.
Oh yeah, no. It's gonna be what you guys, know KISS as. Okay. What everybody knows KISS as. You'll be able to see it, only bigger and badder.
Okay.
And more up close and personal.
Okay. Well, we definitely will be looking forward to that. Whose idea was it to end the final show the way you did, with kind of like KISS kind of going out in the smoke and then all of a sudden the avatars appearing?
Well, that was mine.
That was your idea. Okay. But and how did the band react?
Everybody goes, that's cool. Okay. The hardest thing was how we were going to implement it, right? How we were going to make it work. And the way we made it work was perfect. Was the way that going into God Gave Rock and Roll, just it was a natural fit. There wasn't any Robert Long has done an amazing job for us in the production side. and Ashley was amazing. Our whole staff. I was so happy that they are KISS. They're what you see. They put this on for you.
Right,
so
right.
they're an amazing group of people.
That is awesome. So you're saying now this was your idea. So obviously, I'm sure you've heard a lot of KISS fans like it. And then, of course, with anything, a lot of KISS fans are like, oh, that was crazy. How could they end their last show like that? Did you hear some of that feedback? And what were your thoughts when people fans reacted that way?
Listen, I think that everybody has their own way to celebrate or to kind of feel how the KISS should end for them. Okay, well, KISS isn't going to end, and that was the idea, was to say, here's the superhero section of it that will be comic books and will be hopefully hopefully that this evolves into more what Marvel is. Hopefully this will turn into the 4 characters being able to do films together, fight people around the world together. They'll be the superheroes of the music industry. So I think that, and that's really what KISS has always been, kind of, in a certain way. And I think that they'll bring their values and their excitement to an even bigger level than what we've done just in our shows.
Right. Awesome. Now, I think fans also were a little bit surprised in those last shows that from the stage, the people knew there were going to be no guests, Ace, Peter, Bruce, they knew they weren't going to be there. But I think fans were surprised that there was no acknowledgement of them at all during the shows. Were you guys involved in discussions? Well, I was surprised there was no acknowledgement, honestly.
Well, actually, the only acknowledgement that we showed, which we'd like to, was a lot of the content had Ace and Peter and had Eric Singer or Eric Carr and stuff like that, and Bruce and everybody. It was just we didn't want to turn this into a walk down memory lane. We wanted to end with the baddest show that we've done, and that's a KISS show. The documentaries, the talk about Ace and Peter and Bruce and everybody else will come in the documentaries, and people will see that we pay homage to all of them.
Right.
Because without them, we couldn't be KISS. KISS couldn't have been there, and so each one of them created something that helped all you guys to stay in there for 50 years.
Absolutely.
So there was a lot of and nobody is trying to slight anybody. It's just that Eric and Tommy have been the proven workhorses in the last 15, 20 years that brought something to the table and allowed Gene and Paul to be the people that they are on stage.
Sure.
That it was a real solid backbone musically for KISS, which we needed, which was awesome.
Absolutely. So you've mentioned the documentary a couple of times. I know last year when you were on, I think you had said the biopic, Shout It Out Loud, was just about ready to start at that point. It was literally a year ago this week, I think, that you were on. What's the status of that?
Well, with everything that went on, writer's strike and everything, listen, the film business is a horrible business.
Yes.
I do a record and then I tour.
Right.
And I come off road, I do a record and I tour. And I do that with all my artists. Here, it's been 7 years trying to do a movie of a biopic. Okay. So right now we are engaged with the company that is ready. We have directors. We have everything set. And it looks like probably August, September, we'll start to film. That's what it looks like.
Right.
With our fingers crossed that this comes, because it's a really, really good film. I mean, the script is great. And our director is a director, McGhee. And so he's a very talented director and a big KISS fan, huge KISS fan.
That's nice.
And when he was 14 years old, I think he was 13 or 14 years old, he left a check on my window of my car for $1 million for me to sign, which was the Shrinky Dinks, which turned into be Sugar Ray.
Okay.
So it goes back 50 some years. So it's awesome.
That is great. Now, has any of the casting begun for the biopic?
We're just getting once we get all the budgets and everything else approved, then we'll get into casting.
Gotcha. And then you mentioned the documentary. So is the biopic and the documentary, I'll say, two different things that are going on?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the documentary? What's the timeline for that?
The documentary, I believe, will come before September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So it's obviously well underway, you're saying?
Oh, we're watching it every day.
Okay, awesome. And will it sounds like you're saying somebody like Bruce Kulick, previous members, be acknowledgement, and are they involved in that at all?
No, not really. This is more about the last 50 shows at KISS, actually.
Oh, okay.
This is because we did the documentary of the End of the Road tour.
Sure.
Before with A&E. So we wanted to kind of really started with about Manaus.
Okay.
And we started in Brazil, and we started doing that. But again, you're going to see so many things that come up, and a lot of what maybe people say you don't get enough of, or you don't see enough of this person or that person, and that's usually, and I would say 80 or 90% of it is because they have a kind of a knee-jerk reaction to do it. Right. So it's not that we're holding them back or not wanting to put them in, but some of the people are not interested in doing it. So
okay,
not much you can do about that.
And I assume in that case you're talking about Ace and Peter, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I talked to Ace, I haven't talked to Peter.
Okay.
Ace just put out a really good record.
Yep.
In this day and age, you never know what that means. Mm-hmm. But he was really happy with it, and I thought it sounded great. And I'm glad that he put his heart and soul into it.
Yep.
That's big for him. Yeah. And it's great. I wish him the best. All of us did.
Yep. Absolutely. Now, just kind of talking about that last show again for a moment at the Garden. I'm sure you know about this. Obviously, there was the golden tickets and that whole thing that happened at the end. Because I'll be honest, I was at the show. I didn't even know they were being handed out until I saw somebody on the subway with one. I'm like, oh, I missed that at the merch stand. What was that? Was everybody supposed to get one? Was it supposed to be limited? Tell the fans what that was about.
There's a limit to about 2,500 per show.
Okay. And
it was first come, first serve, because we like to have them too, to where they're out there and you can't get them.
Okay.
Okay. And they're very expensive.
Yep.
and I know this sounds unlike KISS, but we bought them to give them away.
Right. Right. So you're saying there was 2,500 each show. I don't recall seeing anybody that got one on night one. Do you know?
Yeah. No. They all got them on night two.
Okay. So everything was handed out. So what was it? 5,000?
I think that from what I understand is that most of them got handed out on night two. They were there for night one, but I don't think a lot of them made it out. Gotcha. And of course, when you have something, and I'm busy doing 2 shows, so right. I couldn't watch where the tickets went. We had a problem with the Garden allowing having put it out because they didn't want to have trash and they didn't want to have. There's all kinds of regulations on those things.
Interesting.
So what we did give away to everybody were the lights, light thing, and that commemorative, which that cost us a fortune too.
I'm sure it did.
But everybody on both shows got that.
Right. So the golden ticket wasn't supposed to be for everybody. It was just, I guess, first come, first serve, luck of the draw type of thing you're saying.
Luck of the draw, yes.
Okay. Because I'm sure you saw a lot of KISS fans afterwards were like, I didn't get one. Why didn't I get one?
Yeah, of course, everybody did. And we had some we sent out. We had 50 or 60, I think, or something like that, or 100. And when people would go, we just kept sending them out to them until we're out.
Okay. Okay, very good. So
I
obviously,
have one.
good.
I have one. I have one.
You have one. All right, I have one also now. So,
Yeah, I have one.
okay, very good.
But mine's 0001.
Nice. Do the band members have one?
Yeah, they have their numbers.
Okay,
Whatever.
nice. Whatever number.
Paul's was 2 and Tommy's was 7 and all that stuff. So
But
yeah,
you
they
got
all have.
number one.
But I because my bag tag is 1 all the
Gotcha.
time.
Okay.
Because I go from artist to artist. So it's easier if I just have on all my acts, I always have number 1 bag tag because that way I go different artists. I still have my same bag tag.
Sure. All right. That makes sense. Now, you've mentioned a few times that this was the first 50 years for the band, right? I picked up that you've used that terminology. And obviously, this year was the 50th anniversary of the first album. Now, if you believe everything, and I've heard some people who are, supposedly in the know, there was supposed to be a 50th anniversary box set for the first album that's been put on hold. The story is that the band is trying to sell the brand, if you will. Is there any truth to that? And what can you say about the band selling the brand?
The it's the biggest thing with any artist is the ability to stay relevant and have the money and the infrastructure to continue, which doesn't happen when they come off the road. It's everything's dead.
Sure.
Okay, from tour to tour. Okay, so yes, we are looking. We have not looking. We have found we're in the middle of it right now with somebody that can take this and work with us to the next level and bring the amazing show, even better than we could ever do it. That's the key to me. It's like we don't need to put something that's half-ass out there.
Sure.
Kiss has never done that. We spend a lot of money on our shows, tons of money on our shows. I don't know if anybody spends any more money than we do. I doubt it. It'd be pretty tough because I don't know if anybody that spends even near the money we do.
Sure.
So because we want to give everybody that whatever you paid, you got 3 times that in production and a show. Right. And that's and we've worked very hard over the 30 years that I was there to make sure that everybody got that experience. So we look for people that could take it away from us and make it a better experience than we could.
Okay.
Because that's what you need.
Right.
It's not about us going and saying, oh, well, we'll do Coachella.
Right.
And then everybody has to go to Coachella to see the one show, and then they go, oh, well, fuck, he's 77 years old now. He really didn't move very well.
Right. Right.
And we didn't get to, I thought there'd be more pyro, and I thought this will be, holy crap.
Right.
I can't believe it. So that's the difference.
Right.
And
so
yes,
you're saying, so you found somebody, it sounds like.
Yes.
Yes. So will that mean that the stuff like the box sets and that stuff will pick up again? And if so, when? Oh, when will that happen?
Oh, yeah, right. We'll start putting it all together in the next 3 months.
Okay, excellent. And I assume, is that also with you off the soundboard releases that I know the fans were really digging those?
A lot, all that stuff. We're going to do more and more because we have a team behind us to get it instead of my staff.
Right.
Me and my staff, because that's really who has done everything for the last 30 years.
Yes.
And so now we have marketing teams that can help bring it to a better level than what we are doing. We need to take this up a notch, not keep it the same.
Sure. And you mentioned that it was your team doing things, and I just want to acknowledge this, Doc. Last year when you were on with me, we spoke about Dubai and the fact that people weren't getting their merchandise. And in that interview, you said people should email me. I'll make it right. And I can tell you dozens and dozens and dozens of fans have messaged me privately. Mike, thank you for having Doc on. He took care of me. So on behalf of the KISS fans, Doc, I just want to thank you because I've heard it dozens of times how you've helped take care of that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Listen, we're all in this together. I know it sounds corny or something, but you know, some we are, and we have been for 50 years.
Yep.
And so we don't take that lightly. Without taking care of you guys, we don't have any fans.
Sure. Sure. Well, I think
Okay,
the fans are going to be very excited to hear that you guys found a partner in some of those box sets and off the soundboard stuff is going to,
there's
because
going to be
fans
some,
are like, where is it? We want that stuff.
you believe me, we've always been able and we'll be able to do it at a different level than what we're doing it to, which should be awesome.
Excellent. Now, I know Tommy recently said something when they asked him if a Kiss Cruise is possible. He said, quote, very possible. And
Yeah,
that put up
very
everybody's
possible.
antenna. So anything you could tell us about future Kiss Cruises?
We will do a Kiss Cruise in 25.
In
We
25.
couldn't get a boat in 24.
Okay. And
There was,
will all four members be on that cruise? And
you know, I don't know.
okay.
It's gonna be a great cruise as we always do.
Mhm.
Hopefully you're talking about a year and a little over a year from now. Yeah, it'd be a year and a few months from now.
Sure.
So, you know, that can happen in a year and a couple of months, but
Mhm.
we plan on it, and we plan on continuing the cruises well beyond Gene and Paul and myself,
Right.
because it's really about you guys. You know, since we enjoy it because we're just the background music to your party.
So true.
Okay? We're just the reason for you guys to get together and spend your money to come together and hang out and have a great time. I went on a cruise. I would have never gone on a cruise. And I've gone on 11 of Kiss cruises.
Yep.
So therefore, you know, and I was on a cruise with my family, which I would never do again. But when I go on a Kiss cruise, absolutely, because it's so different. Everybody has the same reason why they're there.
Right.
So the whole boat is engaged. The fans couldn't be more genuine and nicer.
Yep.
Over the years, they've calmed down and been able to let Gene and Paul and everybody walk
Yep.
around the boat without mauling them.
Yep.
And it's almost like an institution, you know what I mean? For us, the Kiss institution. The Kiss cruises where everybody can then get together and figure out, okay, here's my friends from Brazil. You know, next year I want to go to Brazil, so I'll be making my plans on the Kiss cruise to go to Brazil with my friends.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
you know how it is. It's
Absolutely.
that's what the community is about.
Is there a chance then that Paul, Gene, Tommy, and Eric perform together on that cruise?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you know, whether or not, I assume that we will be doing all kinds of stuff together, because this is all part of it. You know,
Sure.
it's not like somebody bought us and said, okay, where you guys are gone.
Right.
No. We're a huge part of this.
So you still, the band still have some percentage of ownership of the entity.
Oh
It sounds like.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have participation in everything, and the guys want that.
Right.
You know, they want to. Do they want it at a bigger level than ever? Yes, and that's what we brought them. Now we all have to put our heads together to make it the biggest thing ever.
Sure. That sounds absolutely great. Now I noticed last year, Kiss fans know that the Sonic Boom album was a Walmart exclusive, right?
Yes.
Last year it showed up on streaming services. So does this mean
Well, we put it out? We put it out on streaming finally.
So does Kiss has the rights for the album reverted back to Kiss at this point?
No, we own that album.
Oh, you own the album now. So could there be like a new vinyl release of that? Because I know Kiss fans are always looking for that on vinyl.
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of that stuff because Kiss owns Psycho Circus, not Psycho Circus, but owns Monster and that. So it's all good.
Okay, so then there could be some future releases related to Sonic Boom now that it's not just a Walmart exclusive anymore.
Exactly.
Awesome. Now I know that a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, you were at a Paul Stanley art event with him, right? So are you still involved with Paul and with Gene on a day? Like, are you involved with Gene's tour at all, or?
Well, you know, I talked to him about it.
Mhm.
Gene loves to do his stuff himself.
Yep.
And he's doing the things he loves to do. He's having fun out there. He
Yep.
wants to play some of his stuff from his solo records, some of the stuff that he's written for other people. From, you know, he's having a great time out there. That's what
Yep.
he wants to do. And Paul loves to do his art, and he'll do his Soul Station. And you know something, they're my friends.
Right.
We're very, very close. We're actually like brothers.
Mm.
We're probably tighter than brothers.
Mm.
We've been together for all these years and lived together and probably never had an argument.
Wow.
It's been a great relationship, and I'm happy for him. So anything I can do for him, just as Doc McGhee, I'm
Right.
doing it. You
Okay.
know?
Okay. And then with Paul's art thing, are you involved in helping him with that at all?
No, he does it. He does all the stuff himself.
Yep.
I go there. I'm just the eye candy at the, you know.
That's good.
I hang out and say hi to people and watch Paul make the moves.
There you go. I know a couple of years ago, us Kiss fans saw there was a lot of video dumped on the internet, right? So some
Yeah.
classic era videos, and then they were all pulled. And supposedly there was a lawsuit last year that was going on with that. Could you talk at all about that?
Which
There was a bunch of like old 70s bootleg videos that was up on the internet.
We go after everybody, which we have to on a daily basis.
Right.
That's just one of hundreds that come across where there's a Kiss logo or a Kiss icon on a Volkswagen Beetle in South America.
Right.
So we have to protect our brand.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's what we do.
Couple of other questions, then I'll let you go, Doc. So Bon Jovi this month has a documentary coming out, right? Thank you and good night. And you were obviously a big part of the early days. Are you involved in that? Were you interviewed for that documentary?
Well, I was interviewed for it, so I'm sure I'm in it. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay. What do you remember working with the band? Obviously, I mean, they were the biggest thing in the 80s. What do you remember working with them?
Well, I mean, you know, I did everything with them. You know, we did I did you know, up to I did New Jersey and I did Blaze of Glory. And those were my last two records that I did with them, but I did Slippery and you know, so we did you know, we had a great time.
Yes.
You know, it's great when you break artists. That's what the best part.
Yep, yep. Now I know John was just recently on Conan and he was talking about the Moscow Music Peace Festival. And he again said he did that to help, you know, help you stay out of trouble, stay out of jail. I've heard you say in the past, no, that's not true. What's the story behind that concert?
You know, so the real truth of the matter is they had nothing to do with it, period. There's it would be totally, it was years before, it was 5 years before, it was 6 years before. It was actually from 1980. Okay. So it was 9 years before.
Right.
Okay. It was a conspiracy thing. It wasn't like I was smuggling weed in or whatever.
Right.
But on the other hand, the idea is no, what judge in this world would say, okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to let you off. You just have to do the first show in the history of the Soviet Union. Nobody's going to say that.
Right.
The reason why it went into it was the Make a Difference Foundation, which I founded and was part of. Okay, because remember, before that show, I had Motley Crue, Aerosmith, Bon Jovi. We had everybody in rehab. Everybody was working and we were working. I had family members. I was very into keeping people, trying to get them to understand where they fit in life without drugs and alcohol. So this was one of the ways with the Make a Difference Foundation that I could bring doctors from the West to Russia to teach them how to treat drug and alcohol abuse to the kids that they were actually using electric shock therapy for.
Hmm.
So in one sense, did it come out of that? Probably.
Right.
Okay. And it was a byproduct and was used because that's what I did. And I still do things. I talk to recovery all the time. I've been sober over almost 8.5 years,
Hmm.
totally for me. And been down this path for 30.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that you have to use your whatever you have to help. So a couple of things. It was easier for me to present this as this type of a thing that I was doing for Russia and for the US than just bringing people that they were putting in jail, the kids in jail for listening to the music because it was devil's music. I got more of an acceptance because it was the Moscow Music Peace Festival
Right.
against drugs and alcohol, which was an easier way, which I still didn't get any permits. And I paid for it all myself.
Hmm.
Not John,
Mm-hmm.
okay, not Motley, not anybody else. Now, they played for nothing, and I still take. They were right there, and they only played for nothing because they wanted to go to Russia, and that's what this was all about. It had nothing to do with Doc McGhee, other than I wanted to go to Russia.
Right.
I wanted to release New Jersey as the first record from the West to be released in the Soviet Union, which it was.
Wow,
Okay.
I never knew that. Okay.
Okay. I wanted to do the first show in Lenin Stadium, not in a little 2,000 seater or 4,000 seater.
Yep.
Okay. I did 2 nights, 280,000 people, and there's a documentary that is coming on that.
Oh, is there?
By Network and Words and Pictures.
Oh, nice.
That should be coming before the first of the year.
Oh, excellent. So we'll see that in 2024 as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, obviously you have a lot of balls still in the air. I started off by asking you about QTR and you said, well, a little bit, but not now I understand.
This is QTR. This is quality time.
This
I
is
love
quality
this
time for you. So I mean, if another big artist came knocking on your door right now, I don't know, Paul McCartney, Guns N' Roses, you name it, I don't know. Hey, Doc, we need a manager right now. Do you pick up the phone or you say, I've got enough on my plate? You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Oh man. So then what's in store for Doc from 2024 and beyond? I mean, it sounds like already you have a lot of things going on, but what do you foresee for yourself?
We just have these things that we're moving forward, and I have documentaries, and I have, I've got 3 documentaries moving on now.
Yeah.
We have the biopic that we're doing. We have all this Avatar show to build a venue. So for the foreseeable future, for the next 3 or 4 years, I just don't have to be in a hotel room.
Right. Yep.
That's the biggest thing.
Sure. Well, I can tell you, I think Skid Row could use you again. They just announced today that their lead singer left. I think they need some strong management with them.
Well, I don't know why he left, but I know he was sick.
Health reasons. Yeah, he said it was health reasons.
Yeah, he was sick. And he was good. He was great. We did a bunch of shows with him in Europe and stuff. He was great.
Yep.
Paul liked him. Paul called Snake and told him that too. Everybody liked the kid. He was good, and I wish him the best. I hope he's healthy and all that stuff. So, but Snake and Rachel, they'll get by.
They will. So, and I know you guys have a Rock and Brews coming up, I think in Portland in April, right? So besides that, and besides these documentaries, is there anything else in store for KISS during 2024 that the fans can look forward to?
Well, there's all those things we're working on. So you'll be seeing things come in and out every day.
Excellent. Well, I think one of the things that is going to excite fans the most is hearing that you guys did find a partner and that some of those products, box sets and off the soundboards and that type of stuff will continue on. So sometime this year, it sounds like we're going to get some more of that product.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And it sounds like the avatars are still full steam ahead, and we look forward to seeing what that has to do. Anything else, Doc, that you want the fans to know about that you're working on with KISS right now?
No, that's it, man. Just keep going, keep the KISS Army alive, keep your podcast going, and keep everybody together and healthy and happy. And we'll be here again next year.
I look forward to it. I'll definitely be hitting you up next year.
You got it.
All right. Take it easy, Doc. Talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Alrighty, there you have it. I'd like to thank Doc for talking all about those Final Kiss shows, as well as the band's plan for 2024 and beyond. Thanks so much, Doc, for your time. I really appreciate it, and I know all the Kiss fans do as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button below. If you're listening to one of my podcasts, subscribe over there as well. Also, head on over to Facebook and follow my page, The Rock Experience with Mike Brunn, where each and every day we talk about all the rock and roll music that you love. You could also follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you soon.